Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm at work, but I'm early, so I figured, why not? You know? Yeah, so this is gonna be part 2 of the pregnancy series. And today we're gonna talk a little bit about part 2 of my pregnancy. So in part 1 we spoke about the beginning of it, my cravings and all of that. And this is the part where part 2, I think I'll start in the second trimester. So from the second trimester, I started developing cravings. Weirdly enough, I was craving. I drank a lot of acid, like fizzy drinks. A lot of fizzy drinks. Your Coke, your all of that. Basically, that's when I actually started having cravings. So yeah. And my mom used to be very upset about that because and it came out of nowhere. Just one day I was just like, yo, I'm craving Coke. And then from there it was just downhill. Almost every meal needed a fizzy drink, and it was just, if it's not that, it was fruit juice. But if fruit juice most of the time when I go out with either my boyfriend, my friends, because I can't drink alcohol. So I'd have a lot of fruit juice and all of that. So, yeah. And then I had 2 baby showers, lucky enough to be loved so much by people in my life. I will attach the pictures of my first one from my colleagues at work. Yeah. And then my second one that my boyfriend had organized, my boyfriend and my friends. Yeah, those are the most emotionally, like, that was the peak of my, like, I was the happiest on those days. Well, not that I wasn't happy on the other days, but when people show you love in that way, you just, because I had never thought, I actually didn't expect any of them. I was just on downward spiraling thing. I remember me and my best friend used to speak about the fact that, oh my gosh, where's my baby shower gonna come from? Because you're pregnant. Had one of us been pregnant, I know the other one would be planning the baby shower for the other one, but oh my gosh, we're both pregnant, and what the hell is this? Like, we were so stressed about not having baby showers from anyone that like we spoke about it. So yeah. And then I had my work baby shower, and I was just like, whew, at least, my colleagues have saved me, because clearly. So, and then I think it was a month later. My other baby shower with my friends, my sisters, my cousins, my boyfriend. Yeah, man, those were priceless. I'll just add all the little snippets and things here so that you can get a glimpse of it. But I mean, people that have me on my social media have seen what it looked like. But yeah, ngizofaka nje behind the scenes nyana la nitokubona. Man, yeah, I was very lucky to have people by my side. Not just my boyfriend, but my friends, my sisters. I did not have stress during my pregnancy at all. Bengazange ngibe stress so good manje. my pregnancy is a pregnancy that's stressing out people. Hey guys, no, I didn't have that, and I feel very privileged and lucky, because stress and pregnancy is, yeah, no. So I'm just a very lucky human being. And then there's another topic I want to touch on. Oh, and then my baby came to life, and then my baby was born. When he was born, he had jaundice. Yeah, it was, I want to say a severe case, because we stayed in hospital for 15 days after he was born. So on the 1st of August, he was born. Everything was fine, and we went home on the 2nd of August. And on the 3rd of August, we went back to the hospital because I saw him get discolored. He was looking very yellowy. So I was like, nah, there's something wrong here. And they had mentioned before we left the hospital that he looks like he might have jaundice, but then they let us go because I guess the test came back negative or whatever. I don't know. So they let us go. But the next day, as I was actually, I don't know what I was doing with him. And then I just saw that he opened his eyes, and his eyes were yellow. And then he slept, he ate and he slept. And then his skin, his cheeks, the main area where I really saw that something was wrong was his cheeks and his forehead. It was orangish yellowy. I'll add a photo here as well so you can see what he looked like. And I got so scared. I called my boyfriend, his dad. I called him and told him, this is what, I sent a picture. I'm like, the child looks like this and I'm worried. I don't know what he was busy doing. He didn't respond to me immediately. So I texted my sisters. My sisters and I have a group. I texted my sister and also, my baby looks like this, guys, and I feel like something's wrong. And my oldest sister said I should call the doctor and tell them what I'm seeing and all of that. So I did that, and they told me to come in immediately. We get there, and the doctor says I'm admitting him because his jaundice was between 250, I don't know what and what, but it was high. So they admitted him, and he was under that UV what light. That was the most stressful period of my life. I went crazy in there. I went crazy in hospital because it was so draining. I was sleep deprived. I was not at home. I was in hospital. My son showed no signs of getting better. You'd think he's getting better today. Tomorrow it's something else. At one point, it was an infection in his kidneys. And then after that, they took an ultrasound of the kidneys, and there was something there, and it just kept getting worse. And then I was just like, yeah, and it was the most difficult time of my life. But with the support I had, the love from the people that love me, we were okay. I was okay because he didn't know anything that was happening, but I was okay eventually. And yeah. But the one thing I did want to talk about is not that, but that was part of also my pregnancy, because it's also part of what happened to me. So yeah. What I want to talk about is, yabona abantu bahlale bebuza bethi yini exabanisa abantu mase benengane. Guys, kuningi kuyaxabanisa nje ukuba nengane. You and your boyfriend will be okay, but ukuba nengane will make you guys fight. Angikhathali ukuthi nibangani, but ikhonto enzoyibanga. no matter how small, no matter how big, ikon into enizoibang. It's the most difficult thing sometimes because I've found that men are not as emotionally understanding as a female would be, or men are not as emotional as we would be. So you'll be emotional because you're still going through pregnancy hormones. Like, yes, you've given birth and everything, but there are still those, and that emotionality or whatever, if there's such a word, oh my God, oh my Lord. But leo emotional what mhlambe kube indlela expressa ngayo, or nje your emotions are all over the place and you end up reacting a certain way and they don't get it, and then there's war. Or excuse me, or like I don't, how do I explain this? Okay, it's like, okay, one classic example, I'm gonna use something that happened to me and my boyfriend. I think it was a Friday or a Saturday night. We were still in hospital, me and my son. So he was out with his friends and we're in hospital, right? So the visiting hours were 11 a.m., 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. So he was supposed to come at 7 p.m. So I told my sister not to come because he was coming. And then he didn't pitch. He said something about parking where he was like, at Groove, if you park at a certain spot and then you move and then you come back and the spot is not there anymore. So he said something about parking and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got so upset because, okay, my one thing was I only had human interaction for 3 hours, right? Let's put it that way. I had human interaction for 3 hours. Out of 24 hours, I can only speak to adults for 3 hours. Those are the 3 hours in the day that people can come and visit me. So now, if you are not, my thought process was, if you're not going to pitch, tell me so that someone else can come, because I'm going crazy in here. I'm stuck within these 4 walls, and I'm stuck with the baby, and So he was like, but I told you before. No. I don't remember what his argument was, but yeah, we argued about that. I think we didn't speak to each other properly for like 2 days. He'd come and see me. Like, it was just, So it's little things. They get big because you are in an emotional state of just, you're sleep deprived, you're kuning. And yeah, man, I guys, abole yoxabana ikona, and I just feel like it's difficult for men to understand because there's a lot going on with you. Personally, I've never been a highly, confident person. My confidence of it has never been on a high, ever, at any point in my life. The only thing I have going for me, well, in my head, in my insecurity head, is the fact that I have a body that most people tell me they'd like to have. So there's one thing that I know is worth looking at. So obviously when you have self-esteem issues, while I was pregnant, there were also those emotions of haibo, like, those emotions. After I was pregnant, I knew that I was still not in the body that I was in before I was pregnant. And then now there's even worse. There's the fact that I have a baby and I can't be the person I was in this relationship. So I'm insecurities abamaning. It's not just your emotional, or your physical. It's everything else. I can't spend as much time with you because that thing of you can't go over to your boyfriend's house before 3 months or whatever. That superstition. Yeah, that. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like it's because basuke besivikela ekutheni singamithi futhi, because what does me and my boyfriend having sex have to do with the baby? You know what I mean? But I understand it. It makes sense in that of you are at your most fertile after you deliver. So it makes sense, Maktiwa. Don't go, yabo, because that's what I think. But so you are bound to feel insecure, because are we saying my boyfriend will not have sex for 3 months? Are we saying this man will have no physical contact with a woman for 3 months? Are we saying that my relationship is on pause for 3 months because I'm not allowed to go anywhere with this baby except for the clinic? Like, there's a lot going on in your head. There's a lot. And obviously it's going to take its toll on you, and then it's going to ultimately affect the relationship. So even now, my son's turning 4 months in December. So kuningi nje into exabanisayo, but most of it is that. And I feel like men don't understand that part. Yoguti ama insecurities ayanda, aba maningi, aba overwhelming. And sometimes you can't express these things because it's going to look like you're being petty or you're just being dramatic or whatever, you know? And then you don't express them. Ganti, there's other things happening, and it's just, you know, basic. One day the bomb explodes and things almost just go to shit. But yeah, man, if you have a partner that's willing to work things out, willing to overlook your dramatics or whatever they want to call it, everything ultimately becomes okay, because nizokhulumisana, you know, nikusort it out futhi. So yeah guys, yeah. My colleagues are here now, so I might have to leave. I think I'm leaving. Yes, I'm actually leaving. I don't know if I'll continue or this will be the end of this video, but if I think of anything else that I need to talk about, I will continue before. So you might not see this part, but if you do see it, that means I didn't continue. So yeah. My next part of the video will most probably be with my friend, and we'll both be discussing whatever we'll be discussing, but I hope that's the next video you'll see after this one. I love you loads, guys.